Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Friday afternoon, guys. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Friday, guys. Quick recording. I have someplace I have to be, but I want to drop this while it's so heavy in my spirit. Some, all caps, some of you, again, you will always know what word is for you because your spirit will convict you, and it should be a confirmation. Some of you guys got to get hungry. Some of you guys got to get hungry. One of the biggest tactic that the enemy will use is fear. Faith without works is dead. Now, of course, there are certain seasons. See, another thing is you have to recognize what season you're in. And if you're struggling with that, ask God to confirm to you what season you're in. Because there are some seasons in which God is going to require you to be absolutely still. And I mean absolutely still. Absolutely still. Those are annoying seasons for me, but I have to press through. And then there are seasons where listen. Let's say it. There are some seasons where you're going to have to be so persistent. Right? Not speaking about getting ahead of God, but you have to be persistent. God has already given you the okay about certain things. See, if you're getting ahead of God, then that means that God has not given you the okay. He's been clear in telling you to wait and hold up. In fact, you know He's telling you to hold up, but you're antsy yourself. And then you get ahead of God, and then you just make a whole mess out of stuff. Seriously, I've been there 1,000 times. But then there's other seasons in which God has given you the okay. He's placed you in the room. He's told you that person is watching you. He told you to apply for that particular loan. He told you to relocate there. He told you to leave that person. Like he's given you the okay, but it's fear of the unknown that's keeping you stuck. A lot of the times, especially when it comes down to religion, they push the fact of, excuse me, wait on God, wait on God, wait on God, which all that is absolutely correct. But if you're not careful, it can make you think that your only job is just to pray, and that's it. Just pray. God's going to open that door. Just pray. God's going to work it out. Just pray. God's going to come and drop it off on your front door from the Uber driver. Just pray. Prayer first, without a doubt. Right? Pray first. But God is going to give you instructions. That's going to require you to get up and move something. You have to be very obedient to those instructions. Some of you guys are currently in seasons where God has given you the okay. The door has already opened. You're in the room. You're in due season, but you're shelling up. You have to take the territory. Take the territory. I'm not clueless. I'm very aware that many people, probably more than not, are really timid, kind of fearful, kind of shy in certain areas. Of course, it's the unknown. Of course, it's places you've never been. Of course, God says it's yours, but you really don't know what it all entails. So all that stuff is true, right? People who have maybe some of the most confidence that you know will tell you that a lot of the times, if not all, the things that God calls them to do is not that they're not fearful. They have to step in the fear. You have to take the step within the fear. So anytime God calls you, this is how you know when you're moving in purpose. Anytime God calls you to something, it's going to scare you. Purpose is going to scare you because it's so much bigger than you. But because you're called to it, then that means you have a grace for it. So the whole key is trembling in all, shaking in all, do whatever you got to do, but take the first step. When you take that first step, whatever that first step is for you, filling out that application, applying for that house in the next state, leaving that old toxic nonsense relationship that ain't going nowhere, been in the same foolishness place for the last 127 years, that nobody got time for the nonsense. We got work to do here. When you step into it afraid, there will come a grace upon you that makes it smooth. It will smooth it out. It's just very fearful. Trying to think what I'm feeling because I go through it all the time. I have to go through so much stuff that God calls me to do that you guys don't even have a clue. Where I have to literally, I hear God clearly, right? He said, I need you to do this. And I'm like, Lord Jesus, come on, right? And then I have to strategically figure out what I have to do for each thing, for each call, for each assignment, right? Sometimes that means completely disconnecting from social media, from everything actually, and just keeping myself completely filled in the spirit. I mean, leaving zero room for flesh to creep in until I arrive to the place, until I open my mouth, whatever it is I'm called to. I have to keep myself completely filled, because if I let any crack of flesh in, it's going to intimidate me, and then I'm not going to, when I do or say or whatever I'm doing, I'm not going to come across as confident. And when you're being used, you got to come across as confident. If you're nervously and it means that your flesh is taking over your spirit. When you're in spirit, listen, I got a word for you. Period. But I don't know. It was heavy in my spirit, and it ain't for me per se, because I'm pretty, at least not now, I should say. I mean, the word is not for me today, but so I wanted to share it because obviously it's for someone that I got convicted to make this recording. You already have the green light, and you're still questioning God. You're still asking God, is it for me? Is it you? Is it familiar spirits? Is it you? Like you already have your answer. You already have your answer. Yes, it's God. Yes, you're on the right path. Yes, it's that thing. Yes, it's that place. Yes, it's that person. You already have the green light. I've already opened the door. What you going to do, boo? I did my part. You're in the room. What are you going to do? Are you going to just sit there and just let, demonic forces scare you so bad, and I didn't sit here and teach you how to war in the spiritual realm through the process that you claim you were ready to jump out? So I opened the door. So I guess you want me to open your mouth too. I opened the door, but I guess you want me to fill out the application for you. I've done my part. I'm waiting on you to do yours. Let me tell you, with some of these things, with some of these God-given blessings, you are going to have to take it. And I mean, take it. What's the Bible verse? Take it by force or violently or something like that. You guys know, your girl strung up over here. Help the girl out. Okay. Right? But you got to take it. I'm talking about persistent. I'm talking about being overlooked 97 times, but you go back 98. I mean, take it. I mean, go there and Satan telling you some foolishness in your ear, and you got to sit there. You got to talk to yourself because you're rebuking his nonsense out your ear, but you're planning on what God says. That you got to take it. We ain't playing no games. We're taking it. If God said it's yours. Period. Period. But you gotta believe it, because if you don't believe it, you're gonna come across like you gotta, and it's a process. Be gentle with yourself, right? You're gonna fumble most times before you really, not fumble in the sense of you fumble where you lose it, but fumble as in like, oh, that was not my best. That was not my best. I got to go back and work on some things. Oh my goodness, right? And then each time you go back and you may feel like you fumble again, then God sends you back to the drawing board and then He work on you some more. But a time will come where you're tired of playing with the enemy. You're tired of having to go back to the drawing board because you haven't grasped this concept yet. You're just tired of waiting when God have already told you it's go time. A time will come when you will get there, and that time is now. But you got to have a made up mind. If God said it, it is. Leave zero room for doubt. You only doubt what your flesh is trying to make happen. If your flesh is trying to make something happen, you're trying to manifest something on your own, whatever y'all got going on over there, right? Do what you do, right? But when it comes down to things that God manifests, it's going to require alignment. It's going to require processing for a long time, just depending on how big it is, right? Processing, and then it's going to require you to, I want to say be fearless, but it's okay to be fearful. That's not the question, right? Because it is what it is, right? The question is not if you're going to be fearful. The question is, are you going to push past that fear? And I mean do whatever it takes to push past that fear. Once you do it, it's going to smooth out. And you're going to be like, I would sit here and I was nervous about this. This made me nervous. But you won't feel that until you go over the hump. Take your territory. Take your territory. We ain't playing no games. Take your territory. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.